Hey, good evening everybody. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make pan-fried rice and cheese. This recipe, like all great discoveries, was a complete accident. I got home late from work last week and I had forgotten to buy something to eat, and I looked in the fridge and all I could see was some homemade butter I'd made the day before, some leftover cooked rice, and I had a bag of grated cheese. And I thought, why not? And so I got them all together in a pan, and the result was actually amazing. And one thing I really like about this recipe is that you can adjust it to your tastes, and it's practically impossible to screw up, which is always a plus when you're cooking late at night. I think the only way you could wreck this thing is if you forgot to turn off the stove, okay? So please remember to turn off the stove when you're done, and I'll show you how to make it. So I've got the butter, the rice, and the cheese. Now you can use any kind of shredded cheese. I happen to have some of this. I like it a bit spicy. So first thing to do is put your pan on medium and just throw in a chunk of butter. Not too much, but enough that it'll add a bit of flavor and it won't stick too much. And like I said, this is my own homemade butter that I made last week. And if you haven't seen that, you really should check it out because it's fun. So let that melt. And what I'm going to do is just move over to the other counter for a minute and get the rice ready in a bowl. And if you're not used to working with cooked rice, you really should prepare it before you throw it in the pan. I'm not going to cook all this. I'm just going to cut off, I don't know, about half of it. And just put it on a plate. Like I said, that's the nice part about this dish. You can cook as little or as much as you want. So once you got your portion selected there, just get some water on your hand under the tap. You don't need to get a bowl or anything. And just sprinkle a little bit of water on it. Because what you want to do is you want to break up the chunks. Because it's a lot easier to do it on the plate than it is to chase it around in the pan after. You definitely don't want to soak it either. That's why I just use a few drops on my fingers instead of like pouring it on with a cup. Okay, that looks fairly decent. Now, if there's any really dried chunks, like I missed one here, yeah, throw that out because that's not going to cook well. I should have probably covered this with some plastic wrap in the fridge. If you've got some dried up stuff, yeah, if there's enough moisture left in the rest of the rice, it will wet it up again. So the butter is melted. Just toss the rice in. Spread it out a bit with a spatula. Then grab some cheese and just sprinkle that on top. As you can see, the cheese is already starting to melt in the bottom of the pan. So what you do is just pick it up and turn it over. And as you can see, the cheese getting all nice and melty there. So now you just wait for it to crisp up a bit. After it crisps up a bit, just get your spatula underneath it and turn it over again. And you can see it's starting to get darken up and a bit crispy on the outside in one spot. Now, like I said, the nice part about this dish is you can do it the way you want. If you want it that you still have some melty threads in the middle, you can take it out right now. If you want to get it totally crispy-fied there, just keep cooking it. And if you want to mix, what you can always do is after it gets kind of crispy, it's nearly there now, you can always grab just a bit more cheese and toss that in there, and that way you can get like crispy and chewy. Yeah, it sort of looks like marshmallow treats with cheese instead of marshmallows, eh? And like I said, you know, since you're cooking this up the way you like, you can either have it in chunks like this, or you can like push it down into a cake and like fry it until it's really crisp. However you want it. I'll just get a plate. So there's my pan-fried rice and cheese, ready in a few minutes. Tastes really good, and I hope you try it and hope to see you again.